What's up, everybody? I'm Coach Tyler with Fencer's Edge, and today we are going to be talking about how to fence left-handers. Now, a lot of people have problems fencing left-handed fencers, not just because it's essentially harder fencing a left-handed fencer, but just because they don't have enough practice fencing other left-handed fencers. So a big part of this is, I would suggest, get in some practice fencing left-handers. That's going to help you get a lot more comfortable with fencing a left-handed fencer. Now I'm going to be going over some tips that you can use to help you be more effective in your attacks and some actions on how you can be more effective with your defense as well. I'm not really going to concentrate on saber today. We're mostly going to concentrate on foil and épée fencing because that's where people have the most problems switching to a left-handed fencer. All right, so the first and most important part to fencing a left-handed fencer is probably your angle of attack. So if me and my opponent are on guard, with your mask on, safety first, everybody, is if my opponent tries to attack with a 6 angle, meaning their point is angled in, his point is just going to slide off my chest. If I'm a left-handed fencer, it's just going to slide right off. So if he's going to attack the inside of my chest, he wants to come with a 4 angle, all right? So this is going to allow his point to stick into the target rather than a 6 angle where it would slide off of the target area. So if you're going to attack that upper part of your opponent's body, you want to make sure that you have that nice 4 angle coming in so it's sticking into the target. All right? Now, that 4 angle is really important if he's going to attack the inside of my body. He wants to have that 4 angle. However, if he's going to attack the outside of my body, either top shoulder or bottom hip, then he can have that 6 angle line and still be really effective. He's not going to slide off. So if he attacks down low, he'll have that angle right into my hip. Okay? So that's the first and most important part, is that angle of attack when you are attacking into your opponent. So having that 4 angle if you're going to attack inside the body, or the 6 angle if you're going to attack outside the body, all right? So the next part is how you want to repose after you're making a parry against a left-handed fencer. Now keep in mind that every action that I'm showing you here has its strengths and has its weaknesses. There's not one action in fencing that's going to work for you every single time. No matter what you do, your opponent can always come up with a way to defeat that action. So I want to make that really clear that all of these actions that I'm showing you, yes, they have their strengths, but they also have their weaknesses as well. There's not one God move that you can do in fencing that's going to work every single time. So keep that in mind with these actions. All right? So the first one here is if I attack my opponent and he takes a parry 4, and he tries to go straight on, it's going to be really easy for me to defend that, okay? So what I would recommend, instead of going straight in after that 4 parry, is to come underneath and hit low, all right? So this will really help him be more accurate, and it's a little bit harder for me to defend that, right? So if he takes parry 4 and he goes underneath, I have to pull my hand back, and chances are he's going to be able to beat me to that before I come down for that parry. Okay? Here, if my opponent takes a 6 parry and he goes to repose, if he maintains that 6 line when he goes to repose, chances are he's just going to slide right off and miss. Okay? But if he takes the 6 parry and comes in with a 4 angle now for his repose, it's more likely to stick, and it's going to be a little bit harder for me to parry. Especially if he comes low after that 6 parry, low with the 4 line, so parry 6 and comes in low, that's going to be a lot harder for me to parry as well. All right, so now another big tip is for if you are fencing épée, one of the biggest things about épée is where you're keeping your point while you're fencing. So normally when you are on guard, normally he would, if he's fencing a right-handed fencer, he would keep his point towards my arm. So he would have that slight angle in towards my arm. But now, if I switch to left-handed, now his point is pointed off target completely. So if he wants to try and hit something, if he just extends straight out, he's going right past me. So when you are fencing a left-handed fencer in épée, I suggest switching that angle so that your point is coming more straight on. It's right in line with your opponent's arm. So now if he extends, boom, his point is right on my arm, okay? So straightening out that angle a little bit when you are fencing a left-handed fencer and keeping your blade and your point aligned with your opponent's fencing arm. All right, so my last bit of advice for fencing against a left-handed fencer is to recognize that when you are fencing a left-handed fencer, the distance is actually a little bit closer. So, for example, mask on please. If we are doing righty against righty, and I extend right here from this distance, I'm gonna fall short, I'm gonna miss him. But all I have to do, if I switch to a lefty and I stay in the exact same spot with my feet, now when I extend, I can hit, okay? So the distance might seem like you're at a safe distance because you're used to fencing a right-handed fencer, but in actuality, when you're fencing a left-handed fencer, because you're going straight on, arm to arm, it's a little bit closer than what it might seem like, what you're used to. So keeping that distance a little bit wider when you are fencing a left-handed fencer will help you. So making that adjustment to how close you are with your opponent. If you have any suggestions on how you like to fence left-handed fencers and they're not in this video, please write them down in the comments below so that other people can learn from your great advice. Alright guys, that does it for this video. I hope you found these tips helpful and I hope they help improve your fencing game. If you are finding these videos helpful and you want to see more awesome fencing content like this, please consider supporting this channel. There's a few different ways that you can do that. Check out all the different ways that you can support this channel in the description below. But as always, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment below. And until next time, guys, have fun, work hard, and practice.